Okay, so this video is going to help you understand how an equation works as a machine that you can plug things into and get values out. So this first table, y equals x plus 5 is our equation, and they've already filled in the x's for you. So they're wanting you to say what y is right here if x is 4. So I'm going to go back to my equation, y equals x plus 5. But instead of writing the x, I'm going to plug in the 4 that they're saying x is. So y equals 4 plus 5. Well, 4 plus 5 is just 9. So again, we plugged in a 4 and out popped a 9. Okay, so let me kind of read this equation to you. Y is whatever x is with 5 added to it. Okay, so looking at the next part. The next x they give us is 3. So y is supposed to be x plus 5. Well, the x they just gave us is 3. So 3 plus 5, which is just 8. Okay, next one, same thing. We're supposed to be doing y equals x plus 5, but in this case, x is 6. So 6 plus 5 is 11. Next one, same thing, x plus 5, but this time x is 2 plus 5. Last one is 5 plus 5. So there's our values for y. Okay, I'm going to skip the second one because it's pretty much exactly the same. Let's go to the third one. This one is a little bit more complex as far as the equation is concerned, but it's not a big deal. So y equals 2x minus 7. If that's the equation, they're telling us that y will be equal to 2 times the x, use a different color there, 2 times the x minus 7. That means for each one of these parts of my table, I'm just going to plug in the x value into that slot. Okay, you'll notice I'm leaving out the spot for the x because this first one, x is 0, so I'm going to plug a 0 in where that x is. The next one, x is 5, so I'm going to plug in a 5 where that x is. And continue that all the way down. Now, this does not mean 20 minus 7. That's not what that means. It means 2 times 0 minus 7. Well, 2 times 0 is 0, minus 7 is negative 7. Next one, 2 times 5 is 10. Minus 7 is 3. Next one, 2 times 6 is 12. Minus 7 is 5. 2 times 4 is 8. Minus 7 is 1. And 2 times 8 is 16. Minus 7 is 9. Okay? Let's see if I can find something a little bit different. So let's just look at number 5, negative 5x. That means that all the y's in this table should be equal to negative 5 times whatever the x is. Okay? So this first problem again, y equals negative 5 times whatever x is. Y equals negative 5 times whatever the x is. I'm doing that over and over and over. So in this first problem, my x is 2. Next problem, x is 8, 7, 4, and 3. So now I just work out the problem. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. Negative 5 times 8 is negative 40. Negative 5 times 7 is negative 35, etc., etc. Okay? You might also have some that have, again, those 2 steps with a negative. So this problem, for example, I'm just going to write it really small in the box. This time the x is 6. So when I write my equation, y equals negative 3 times x. Well, my x was 6. Okay, and then plus 2. Next one, y is negative 3 times x. But again, the x is 8. And then plus 2. So you'll see how the equation stays the same every time. It's just the x, what you're plugging in, the input, that changes over and over and over. Okay, so let's see what we get here. First one, negative 3 times 6, that's negative 18. Then plus 2, that gives me a final answer of negative 16. Next one, negative 3 times 8 is negative 24. Plus 2 gives me a final answer of negative 22. Next one, negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Plus 2 is negative 4. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Plus 2 is negative 7. Last one I didn't get to, but it's negative 3 times 9 plus 2. So it's negative 27. Plus 2 is negative 25. Okay? Hopefully this makes a little bit more sense to you now. You can finish all the other tables on this page. A lot of it you can probably do mentally, especially the ones that are just simple, y equals x plus 4, just multiplying by negative 2. Some of these